side? Subtract 4. Nice. Okay, this is gone. Bring everything down. We're left with 3x equals 22 minus 4. Anyone? 18. And you'll notice, if you're doing this correctly, you'll notice that it kind of makes a triangular shape. As it gets simpler and smaller, your equation, you're dealing with less terms, you're combining like terms, and it's getting smaller and smaller until finally we divide by 3, and x equals 6. Okay? Okay, so remember these simple steps. We are undoing one operation, such as addition, with subtraction. If you had subtraction, we would undo that with addition. Okay? And we're undoing multiplication with division. Okay? And if you had division or a fraction, we would undo that with its inverse, which would be multiplying by its inverse. Okay? We'll do some more. Let's do another equation. Okay, how about if we had 12x minus 5 equals 20x plus 30. Ouch! Tiffany, no, no, no. Why'd you do that? That's not right, Tiffany. Back up. Back up now. Tiffany, let go. She just got really mean. That hurt. I haven't been bit like that in a long time. She's gonna have to go home in a minute. Tiffany, no, no, no. Why'd you do that? Okay. Okay. Next. Okay. All right, I hope you guys are learning this because I'm paying a price here. All right? Okay? Let's pay attention. Ready? I always like to do that dotted line. Okay? Now, let's say, which side do we want to put our x's on? Okay? We could put them on the left side, we could put them on the right side, but in this case, I'm going to tell you why it's a little bit easier to put them on the right side. Because the 20x is bigger than 12x. If you subtract 12x from 20x, you're still going to be left with a positive term. Okay? But if you subtract 20x from 12x, now you're dealing with a negative term. So it's okay to isolate x on the right side. So let's get that 12x, let's subtract it out of there. Let's subtract it on this side. So we're left with negative 5 equals 8x, because 20x minus 12x, they're like terms, 8x plus 35. Okay? So we have another equation, but this time the x is on the right side. And we're going to leave it right there. So what do we want to get rid of? Well, we want x all by itself. We can circle that. We want to get rid of the 35. It's plus 35. So we can subtract 35 here. And we're going to subtract 35 on this side. Okay? So this is gone. We're left with 8x equals, what's negative 5 minus 35? Okay? Now here's where you have to have some familiarity with combining numbers with signs. Okay? Because these two have the same sign, which is a negative sign, we're just going to combine them. We're going to add them. Okay? So negative 5 minus 35 is what? Well, think about the number line. If you're starting at negative 5 and you're going minus, that's to the left side, minus 35 hops. 35 hops to the left, that's going to be negative 40. Okay? So we're left with 8x equals negative 40. We want to get rid of that 8. We want x all by itself. So we can use our rule. Anything over itself equals 1. So we divide by 8 here. Okay? Let's divide by 8 on this side. Okay? This becomes 1. So we're left with 1x equals negative 40 over 8. Anyone? Well, what's 40 divided by 8? It's 5. Good. It's 5. What's a negative divided by a positive? Okay? It's a negative. So your answer is x equals negative 5, or negative 5 equals x. But you can read equations from the right to the left or from the left to the right. Okay? It's okay to say x equals negative 5. Okay? Good job. Okay? Great. Next, we're going to apply these concepts to equations we encounter in geometry. Okay? Stay tuned. Okay, everything's still going, so why don't we just... Okay. Let's just keep it rolling then. It's looking good. Okay. Okay. Now, let's imagine we have... I'm going to move that sneaker now. Don't think we need that anymore. Okay, let's imagine we have a line and a ray coming out here, and we're told that these two angles, this one and this one, are supplementary. Okay? So let's say they're supplementary. And I'm going to okay, supplementary. What does supplementary mean? Okay. Supplementary means that the two angles add up to 180 degrees. Okay? Supplementary, they equal 180 degrees together. Okay? See that line? Naturally, this angle plus this angle, okay, it covers that whole space there, so that would make 180 degrees. Okay? So let's imagine this angle here is called 3x plus 7. Okay? And let's say this angle here is 2x minus 2. Okay? So the question is, what's the size of this angle and what's the size of this angle? Okay? So here we have algebraic expressions. X is, once again, what? 3 times what plus 7? 2 times what minus 2? But what's the clue we're given here? The main clue is that we know that these angles are supplementary. So we know that the sum of this angle and this angle together equals what? It equals 180 degrees. Okay? So that's the information we're going to use to set up this equation. Okay? But you have to know what supplementary is. Okay? They add up to 180 degrees. So let's write out an equation. This angle, which is 3x plus 7, plus this angle, 2x minus 2, equals what? Equals 180. So we write out 180. Okay, guys? You have to use those clues and trust in your abilities. Okay? Don't be afraid to make your own equation. They belong to you. This skill is yours. It's yours to use and apply and solve problems. Okay? You can try to solve it other ways. There are other ways to solve these problems. But unless you have a good method down, okay, I would say, why don't you get used to, setting up equations. Okay? Figuring out what is my variable, what is my unknown, what are the clues I'm giving, what exactly am I trying to solve here. Okay? So, don't forget that you're trying to figure out what the measure of this angle is and what the measure of this angle is. Okay? So, here we have an equation. And what we have to notice is we have too many terms here. Okay? If we can save space, let's save space. Okay? We have a 3x, we have a 2x. Well, are they like terms? Yeah. It's like saying I have 3 apples, I have 2 apples. How many apples do I have altogether? Because we're adding them. Well, that makes 5 apples. So let's circle those. Those are like terms. 3x, 2x gives us 5x. So let's just put those together and write 5x plus 7. Now we have 7 and we have minus 2 over here. Can we combine those two? Yeah, they're just numbers. 7 minus 2 is what? It's 5. So we're left with 5x plus 5 equals, what's left? 180. Nice. Guys, if you got that far, you've been through the hardest part. Because now we're back to a simple multi-step equation like we did before. Okay? Subtract 5 from this side, subtract 5 from that side. Let's do it. Don't forget your dotted line. Otherwise, you might accidentally subtract 5 from here and subtract 5 from there. I've seen it happen. Okay? So be careful. So we're left with 5x equals 175. Okay? Nice. Now we're going to take that, I'm going to erase this, so get that down on a piece of paper for your notes. Okay? Here we go. We're down to 5x equals 175. Okay? We divide by 5 over here. We divide by 5 over here to get x by itself. So we're left with x equals 175 divided by 5. And I don't mind if you use a calculator. Okay? But 175 divided by 5, anyone? It becomes 35. X equals 35. Okay? But have you finished solving the problem? Remember what the question was asking you. What's the measure of this angle and what's the measure of this angle? We just got the x part. Okay? We got the x part. But we have to plug that x part back in here. Okay? So we have to say 3 times 35 plus 7, and then we'll get our measure. Okay? So, what's 3 times 35? Well, let's write it out. Let's do that. 35 times 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Put a 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Plus 1 is 10. So that's 105. Okay? Plus 7. 105 plus 7 makes 112 degrees. So that's the measure of this one. It's 112 degrees. Okay? Oh, you got me cookies? Thank you, sweetie pie.
Welcome.
All right, I got cookies. Awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you, sweetie. I love you. Okay, so that's 112 degrees. And now we know the other one is 2 times x minus 2. Well, we know x is 35. 2 times 35 is what? 2 times 35 is 70. So that's 70 minus 2. 70 minus 2 equals what? It should be 68 degrees. So we have 68 degrees here and 112 degrees there. Are they supplementary though? We can check our answer. Okay? Let's check. 112 plus 68, does it add up to 180? Let's check. 112 plus 68. 2 and 8 is 10. Put a 0, carry the 1. 6, 7, 8. Bring down the 1. 180 degrees. They are indeed supplementary. And you just solved an equation related to geometry. Okay? It's the same stuff. Okay? Used for a different purpose. Let's do another one. Okay? There we go. Let's look at complementary. Okay. Okay. Let's do complementary angles. complementary. Do you know what this means? Complementary angles